Hey everybody. So if you haven't heard by now, or if you haven't seen it, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Sky from Black Ink Crew. Now, Sky's been on the show for a number of years now. She started off as what they call a mixie. She was just kind of a round-away girl that came around. She was like, I think her and Teddy had like a little thing at one point or another. But Sky has basically been elevated to this position, almost kind of like Caesar's right hand, right? She's been elevated to that, and she's had some serious issues that I think have been glossed over and basically laughed at because she's technically what they might call the comic relief of the show. Now, a few years back, you might remember we were introduced to so-called Sky's, the fact that we got introduced to the storyline that she had two kids that she gave away. At one point, she said that they were twins. You might remember she said she gave away a set of twins. We found out later that, of course, that was a lie, and that the boys, of course, were not twins, and they had went off to, I believe, to live in Texas with this, with their adoptive mother, right? And so Sky came back into their life, and I have to be honest, ever since she's come back into these boys' lives, it's been bull. It's been a lot of bullshit. She has Genesis, who really doesn't want to have anything to do with her, and Dez, who was the younger of the two, who seemed to have a better relationship with his mother, but that has obviously deteriorated, and it has deteriorated right before our eyes on TV. So I want to show you, I'm not going to show you, of course, but I'm just going to like play the audio of this scene between Dez and C's. He's talking to C's, and he's talking about what happened between him and his mother in this particular scene, where she says some pretty awful things that I personally don't think that a person can come back from. But I want you to go ahead and listen to the audio, and we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to talk about, of course, how she responded to it. Go ahead and take a look at this, guys.
So Dez hit me up talking about he tracked down his mother and he needs to talk to me immediately. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of worried because the last time these two met up, it wasn't good. How you doing? Man, I don't know what's going on, man. Talk to me, man. I know you met up with your moms.
After talking with C's, I gave Grandma a call, and she told me Mom was still in New York. And I'm still sitting here wondering why she's only talking to Grandma.
When I got to the door, and my mom opened up. Everything was, we was talking.
I regret what happened last time we saw each other. And I'm saying I'm sorry. No, I'm a stronger man now.
Like, I love you. Come here, give me a hug. Come here.
Everything was going good in my eyes. And then it went south.
Some girl in my DMs talking about you got pregnant.
I don't know about that.
Is the bitch pregnant or not?
I don't care.
I really came to put our stuff pads behind.
You here to get money. You stole from me.
She called me out as my name. She went out her way to hurt me.
How many times you steal from people? How many times you show your body? How many times you did all that?
Have I stole from you?
Yes, you have.
No. What have I stole from you? What have I stole from you?
You're supposed to be with me.
You were disrespectful. You were stealing from Walmart. It's inside your soul. You're the kidness I have to pay for. Yeah.
She was death on me. Like, I ain't never had no family member, nobody ever was death on me.
I'm gonna beat this little boy's ass. I wish I would've put it. Why ain't swallowing? Bitch boy. Why ain't swallowing?
Like she said, I felt some of it was true.
Your daddy don't want you.
And it's like, ain't nobody ever really tried to come and get me while I was a kid, you feel me? I'll be honest with you, yo. Like, that's just how it is. And I hate to hit you with the reality of life, but sometimes people don't know how to love each other, yo. And the love she's supposed to be showing you right now, I don't think Sky ever received that love from anybody.
So I'm not going to play anymore. You know, I've watched that scene a few times, and that was really hard to watch. How Sky basically said, your daddy don't want you, I don't want you, I sort of should have swallowed you, I should have aborted you. Like, I don't know how any parent can open their mouth to say the vile things that she said to this child. And the sad part is that she doesn't even seem to understand what like the damage that she's already done to these kids, right? The damage that she did to them once again by inflicting more pain on them by, I believe, just coming back into their lives. And then not even being able to take any kind of accountability to why they are the way they are in the first place. The fact that this boy probably more than likely didn't need to steal a damn thing out of no Walmart, but more than likely was just acting out, looking for attention from his mother, the mother that he's been wanting since birth, right? The mother that he never really had in Sky, right? Because all she's tried to do is become a party girl and use these poor kids for a storyline. That's basically why these kids were brought back into her life, for a storyline. And that's a shame that she used both boys like that. The first one, Genesis, I think he got hip a long time ago. Now, if you've seen this scene, like I said, I couldn't show you the actual audio, but he said when her son was sitting down there trying to talk to her, when she was asking, did you go get this bitch pregnant? He was saying, look, I'm not doing this TV stuff. Basically, he was trying to have a heart-to-heart conversation. He didn't even want to bring up that stuff. She was trying to bring up something, and I felt like it was all about, I got to get this story. I got to say this. I got to get the story. I got to make sure that we stay on script here. He was trying to sit there and talk to her about their past and trying to move past whatever happened between them. But Sky, as you can, she wanted to talk more about, oh, did you get this bitch pregnant? I promise you, I felt like that's what the producers wanted her to focus on. And he wasn't really for that. And she flipped. And the fact that the stuff that came out of her mouth was so disgusting to me. So nasty. And even after people start calling her out, so once this show aired the other night, and people start calling Sky out, Sky, I guess she had had enough, and she decided she was going to take to her IG Live to basically brush it off and laugh it off as if it's nothing, right? As if it is absolutely nothing to sit here and talk to your kids the way you talk to them, and how toxic that she's just a toxic person. She's been like this. She's been like this, but again, she's been allowed to get away with it because I do think that people give a pass to deadbeat mothers, but they would have never allowed that from a father, especially on TV. They would have never allowed this from a father, you know, even though I think dads get away with a lot of shit. But I want you to go ahead and take a look at how Sky responded.
Yo, stop talking to me like that. I don't really think that's nice, all right? All right? Y'all taking up for dads? That's nice. That's sweet. That nigga ain't had no tears in his eyes, but that's sweet. Listen, I said what I said. Like, God gonna deal with me. God, thank you for everything you done in my life and everything you gonna do. You know, that was a hard day for me in November, you know? I'm pretty sure it was hard for him, too. But it happened. Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Yeah, yo. If I showed you my DMs, that shit is for a hurt person. That shit. So yeah, I came up here to say all that. I mean, the tone changed, of course, it was in November. So the tone changed. I said what I said. God is good. I don't know what else you want me to say. Bipolar mental illness, yeah, it is a serious thing. I haven't been diagnosed yet, but I'm pretty sure, you know.
Do you see that, though? Do you see how she just completely dismissed Dez's feelings? Like, basically, you didn't see one tear drop from that boy's eye. She basically dismissed whatever he said as if that child was not sitting out here crying out for his mother. And I have to wonder if the woman that adopted both boys, that took care of both boys, regrets letting Sky come back into their life. I personally think the worst thing that could have happened to both boys is for Sky to come back around. I do. I think the worst thing that could have happened to both of these boys is for Sky to enter their lives. And really, honestly, I just felt like it was all for a storyline because remember, she lied. When we heard about the fact that Sky had kids, she said that she had a set of twins that she had gave up. All right. I think the best thing Sky could have done is to give those boys up, which she did. She was young. She was very, very young. She couldn't take care, but she can't even take care of them now. She can't even take care of herself. I think Sky has some mental issues that need to be addressed, that VH1, whoever else, is just overlooking because she makes for good TV to them. They think that this makes for good TV, but this is very, very toxic and just sad. It was the saddest thing in the world to see this boy sitting there talking to the season. Season's like, well, that's just the way it is. No, it don't have to be like that. That's not the way it is. All right, that is not how it should be or how it's just going to be, because Sky, it's very true that Caesar's probably right. She didn't get that kind of love, so she doesn't know how to love them. But I wish to hell she would have just left those boys where they were, because I think that their lives have declined significantly since she's been in it. Because again, she didn't do this. I don't feel like she came to those boys because she loved them. I feel like somebody was in her ear like, hey, you need to go ahead and like reunite with your sons. And it has been a disaster ever since. Before she got with Dez, Dez was like playing football. He was down in, I believe they was in Texas. I mean, they looked like they had a decent life. And here comes Sky, blowing up the spot, blowing it up. To say I should have swallowed you, you don't ever say those kind of words to your kid. I don't give a damn how mad I get. I will never say something like that I can never take back. And that child will never, ever forget it. TV or no TV, Sky needs help. And they need to basically, don't keep rewarding her by putting her on TV with this bullshit and thinking that this is going to help somebody out here. This is bullshit right here. For real. Sky ain't shit. And y'all will call out deadbeat dads. Call out deadbeat moms too. Call them out too, because they need to be called out just like the daddies do. She ain't shit, and she need help. She needs to go get some mental help for herself, because she is broken. She's very, very broken. And hopefully that boy doesn't go and transfer that onto somebody else when he gets into a relationship. He doesn't take that kind of toxicity into his life, into his relationships. I hope that he doesn't. I think the worst thing that could have happened to those boys is Sky coming back into their lives. And that's just the honest to God truth for me.